How we doing today, neighbors? Ian with eTrailer here. Today we're going to take a look at and then install the Curt 4-pole wiring harness on our 2024 Cadillac XT6. Now the XT6 is going to be a great vehicle for you and your family, and in addition to being able to throw everything up on the roof rack or maybe have something on the back of your vehicle with that cargo carrier, you may want a towable with you. And to be able to stay road safe and legal, you will want to have wiring on that trailer. And so the Curt 4-pole wiring is going to be a great option there to be able to get that thrown onto your vehicle. And we're going to walk through that process here shortly. Now we've got our mounted 4-pole wiring here to a bracket not included with the kit, so you will want to pick up a 4-pole mounting bracket and then a short bracket or long bracket depending on how far you'd like that to sit out from the vehicle. And this 4-pole is going to give us our normal lighting functions to include that turn signal, tail light, and brake light. That 7-pole option from Curt is going to include your brake controller wiring, the 12-volt, and then reverse if you needed that on your trailer as well. As for the installation of this harness, it's going to be nice and easy because we have a factory plug here on the driver's side that we're going to be accessing and just pulling a cap off and plugging our harness directly into that. That 7-pole works the exact same way of plugging into the 4-pole wiring that we're going to tie into for this harness, but additionally uses the auxiliary port for those other functions. So we are going to start just with the wiring harness and our 4-pole end. We're going to go ahead and throw on the dust cap just to keep any debris out of the way while we are plugging this in. Get that on there and get that closed up. Then we can take the factory end, and we're going to be coming behind the driver's side of the bumper here, just right inside of the pocket. If you're doing your hitch, this would be the best time to do it. When the hitch is installed, the entire fascia is off, making this extremely easy to access. And along with this harness, you're going to find that there is no bracket. So what we've done here is just taken one of the short brackets and then a 4-pole wiring bracket and attached that to the beam of the hitch. So you kind of have some availability of other spots, but if you wanted a less permanent option, that no drill bracket plus the 4-pole wiring bracket is going to be a great option there. And we can take that factory end, and we'll take the cap off first. So there's going to be 2 sets of harness plug-ins from the OEM harness. Our first one being that 7-pole, which is the larger of the 2, and then the one we're going to be focusing on is this back one here with the little green cap on that. And it's going to be really difficult to show specifically what's going on with that cap without our 7-pole out of the way. So I did just push out the Christmas tree that was holding that, just to be able to get that out of the way to be able to show as much as possible here. Let me pull that down so it's out of our way. Now on that plug, we're going to start with the little red retaining tab, and we're going to push that all the way to the back until it stops, and that can be done by hand as well. I'm just going to try to do it with this tool here to make it easy to see. Now I've got ours loose just to be able to show, but here on top we're going to have that little red locking tab that just needs to be pushed all the way up out of the way. And then once that's out of the way, what was hidden underneath it is going to be our push tab. You'll see it's almost a little U shape right in here where the end of the screwdriver is. That's what we're going to be pressing on to pull out this cap that's got the little green ends on it. So you'll have to reach your hand up in there, push on top of that retainer, and pull the cap off. And then we could set that cap aside because that's where we're going to be hooking directly to our harness here. So I'm going to go ahead and mount our 4-pole end in our bracket. And then we can take the factory end. It's just going to plug in the exact same way that cap was plugged in. So we'll reach up in there, line up the locking tab there on top. Push that into place, and we should hear a good firm click letting us know that it's gone into place. And once we've got that into place, you'll again take that little red locking tab that we pushed up and slide that back down. So we'll push those two ends together, and then it looks like that red locking tab does not move back down once it is clicked together, so I just wanted to make sure that's mentioned. Even with trying to force it down, it doesn't seem like it wants to go down, so we'll just leave that as is. And we'll find a good spot for our wiring to live up under here. And we do want to use the provided zip ties out of the kit just to secure any extra or loose wiring. And make sure our dust cap will go back on without pushing that in through the bracket. And now we can test it to ensure that this is working properly. Now we're going to run through the tests on this. We're just going to be using a tester. Of course, you could hook up to your trailer or accessory and run the lights that way. We'll start with our left turn, that right turn, the brake light, and then our clearance lights on and clearance lights off. And that's going to do for our installation and look at of the Curt 4-pole wiring harness on our 2024 Cadillac XT6. My name is Ian with eTrailer, and I appreciate you watching.